I've always believed that the most powerful question we can ask ourselves is why? Why do we wake up every morning? Why do we push through challenges? Why do we keep moving forward when everything around us seems to say, stop? But there is an even bigger question, one that shakes us to our core. Why did God choose me? It's easy to think that purpose is reserved for the special, the talented, the ones who seem destined for greatness. But what if I told you that you were chosen? Not by accident, not by chance, but because there is something in you that this world desperately needs. God doesn't make mistakes. Every single person walking this earth has a purpose, but not everyone recognizes it. Some people go through life questioning their existence, wondering if they truly matter, if they are significant in the grand scheme of things. There are reasons why things go okay. But the truth is, you were not placed here by accident. You were chosen with intention. There is a reason behind your presence, a divine purpose that has been carefully designed for you. From the moment you were born, there were things set in motion, events that shaped you, moments that built you. Even the times you doubted yourself, even the seasons where you felt lost, we're all part of a bigger picture. It's easy to believe that life is random, that we are just drifting from one moment to another without any real direction, but that's far from the truth. There is an architect behind it all, a master plan unfolding even when you cannot see it. Think about the people who have come into your life, the ones who lifted you up, the ones who challenged you, and even the ones who hurt you. Every single interaction has played a role in shaping who you are today. Sometimes we mistake pain and struggle as signs that we are not meant for greatness, but in reality, they are often the very tools God uses to mold us. When you look back at your life, you will realize that the things that tested you the most were also the things that strengthened you the most. You were chosen because there is something inside of you that is needed in this world. Maybe you haven't fully discovered it yet, or maybe you've been running from it. Sometimes people don't step into their calling, not because they don't have one, but because they are afraid of what it might demand of them. The weight of responsibility, the fear of failure, or the uncertainty of the unknown keeps them from embracing what was meant for them all along. But God doesn't call the prepared. He prepares the called. He chooses people who, in their own eyes, may not seem ready or worthy, but in His eyes, they are exactly who He needs. If you look at history, the people who made the greatest impact were often the least expected. They weren't always the strongest, the smartest, or the most qualified. Moses doubted himself. David was just a shepherd boy before he became a king. Esther was an orphan before she became a queen who saved a nation. Time and time again, God chooses the unlikely because it is through them that His power is most evident. So He doesn't choose based on what the world values. He chooses based on what He has placed inside of you. It's natural to question why. Why you? Why now? Why this path? But instead of focusing on the uncertainty, focus on the truth that you were chosen with intention. Every talent you have, every experience you've been through, and even the struggles you've endured are all pieces of the puzzle. Nothing is wasted. What you see as flaws, God sees as the very things that make you perfect for the purpose He has designed for you. There will be times when you feel unworthy, times when doubt creeps in and makes you question if you really have what it takes. But God does not make mistakes. He does not call those who are perfect. He calls those who are willing. And if He has chosen you, it means He has already equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your purpose. You may not see it yet, but that does not mean it is not there. People often spend years searching for meaning, looking for signs, waiting for confirmation. But sometimes the answer has been in front of them all along. If you are breathing, if you are here today, if you feel that pull deep inside of you that there is more to your life, that is your confirmation. That is the whisper of your purpose calling you forward. This is not about being special in the way the world defines it. It's not about status, recognition, or external validation. It's about divine intention, about knowing that you were placed here in this exact moment in history because you are needed. The gifts you have, the voice you carry, the impact you are meant to make, these are not coincidences. These are part of a plan that was set in motion long before you even realized it. Many people go through life unaware of their significance, thinking they are just another person in the crowd. But when you truly understand that you were chosen, when you accept that there is a greater purpose at work, everything shifts. The way you see yourself changes. The way you move through life changes. You stop questioning whether you matter and start living like you do, because you do. You always have. Struggles are not a sign that you are on the wrong path. In fact, they are often the very proof that you are being prepared for something greater. Every person who has ever accomplished something meaningful has faced adversity. Challenges are not obstacles meant to stop you. They are tests meant to shape you. They refine you, break away the unnecessary, and push you to become who you were meant to be. They are in their own way indispensable. They allow you to feel free, make any choice, and push everything you believe in. Without them, you would never develop the strength, resilience, and wisdom required to fulfill your purpose. When you look at the most influential figures throughout history, you'll see a common pattern. None of them had an easy journey. They were rejected, doubted, and even ridiculed. But what separated them from everyone else was their ability to keep going despite the opposition. They didn't allow their struggles to define them. Instead, they allowed their struggles to prepare them, because preparation is never comfortable. It often feels like everything is falling apart, when in reality, everything is falling into place. Pain is a tool that God uses to mold you. If life was always easy, if everything worked out perfectly with no resistance, there would be no growth. Growth requires discomfort. It demands that you step outside of what is familiar and endure seasons of uncertainty. But in those seasons, you are being refined. The fire is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to strengthen you. Just like gold is purified through intense heat, your character is purified through adversity. What you are facing is not meant to break you. It is meant to reveal the strength that already exists inside of you. There will be moments when you question why you have to go through so much, why the road seems harder for you than for others. But what you must understand is that the level of preparation always matches the size of the calling. The greater the purpose, the greater the preparation. God does not send people into battles they are not ready for, and He will not place you in a position you are not equipped to handle. So if you are experiencing resistance, if you are walking through trials that seem overwhelming, it is because there is something inside of you that is being refined for the next level. Many people give up because they mistake preparation for punishment. They assume that if things are hard, it must mean they are not meant to continue. But the truth is, difficulty is often confirmation that you are on the right path. If what you were meant to do was easy, everyone would do it. But your journey is different because your calling is different. The things that challenge you the most are the very things that will set you apart. Think about the moments in your life that tested you the most. The times when you felt like you had nothing left to give. When you wanted to quit but somehow found the strength to keep going. Those moments were not coincidences. They were building something inside of you. Something unshakable. Every struggle has prepared you in ways you may not even recognize yet. The patience you developed in waiting seasons, the endurance you built through hardship, the wisdom you gained through failure. All of it has been preparing you for what is coming next. Sometimes, preparation comes in the form of loss, losing relationships, losing opportunities, losing comfort. It feels like things are being taken away, but in reality, they are making space for something greater. There are things you have to let go of in order to grow. People who cannot go with you to the next level. Situations that are no longer aligned with where you are headed. What may feel like a setback is often a setup for something far bigger than you imagined. One of the most difficult things about preparation is that it rarely makes sense in the moment. It is only when you look back that you realize why certain things had to happen, why you had to endure the pain, why doors had to close, why certain people had to leave your life. But in every moment of struggle, there was purpose. Nothing was wasted. Even the things that hurt you the most have played a role in shaping the person you are becoming. You were not meant for an ordinary life. If you were, your journey would not be this challenging. But the very fact that you have faced obstacles, that you have been tested, that you have been pushed beyond what you thought you could handle, is proof that you are being prepared for something greater. Preparation is never easy, but it is always necessary. Everyone has something unique inside of them, something that no one else in this world possesses in the exact same way. Your talents, your skills, your experiences, and even the way you think are all intentionally designed. Nothing about you is random. The gifts you have are not just for your own benefit, they serve a greater plan. There's a reason you are drawn to certain passions, why certain things come naturally to you, and why you feel deeply about particular issues. These are clues to what you are meant to do. Too often, people overlook their own gifts because they compare themselves to others. They assume that because their talents don't look like someone else's, they must not be valuable. But comparison is one of the biggest traps that keeps people from stepping into their calling. When you focus on what someone else has, you lose sight of what has been placed inside of you. You were never meant to be a copy of anyone else. Your purpose is not attached to someone else's journey, it is attached to your own. The things you can do effortlessly, the way your mind works, the way you connect with people, all of it is part of a bigger design. When you begin to embrace what makes you different instead of trying to fit into what the world says is valuable, you unlock the power of your unique gifts. Before you dread it, it will come to your rescue. You will unlock the power that is within you and cut through not just any other. Many people spend their entire lives searching for their purpose, when in reality, it has been inside of them all along. It is not something you need to go out and find. It is something you need to recognize and develop. Your experiences, both good and bad, have shaped the way you see the world. They have given you insights and perspectives that no one else has in exactly the same way. This means that the way you approach problems, the way you inspire others, and the way you contribute to the world is completely unique to you. It is easy to downplay your gifts because they feel natural to you. What comes easily to you may seem simple, but to someone else, it could be life-changing. That is why it is so important to stop underestimating what you bring to the table, the things you do without thinking, the way you encourage others, the way you find solutions, the way you create, are not insignificant. They are the very things that are needed in the world around you. There are people waiting for what you have to offer. There are lives that will be impacted because of the way you use your gifts. But if you spend your time doubting yourself, if you hold back because you don't think you are good enough, those people will miss out on what you were meant to give, right? Your gifts were never meant to stay hidden. They were meant to be shared. They were meant to be used for something bigger than yourself. When you understand that your talents serve a greater plan, you stop wasting time wondering if you are enough. You stop hesitating and start moving forward with confidence, because it is not about whether you are capable, it is about whether you are willing. Every great leader, every person who has made an impact, started with the decision to use what they had. They did not wait until they felt ready. They did not wait for permission. They stepped forward in faith, trusting that what was inside of them was enough. Your gifts are not random. They are not meaningless. They are pieces of a much bigger puzzle, designed to fit into a purpose that is greater than anything you could imagine. The things you love, the things you are passionate about, the things that light a fire inside of you, those are not accidents. They are signs pointing you toward what you are meant to do. But recognizing them is only the first step. The next step is using them. There will always be a voice in your head telling you that you are not ready, that someone else is better, that your contribution won't make a difference. But that voice is wrong. The truth is, what you have is exactly what is needed. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to use what you have been given. Because the world is waiting for what only you can bring. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to fulfilling your purpose. It has a way of creeping in, whispering doubts, making you question your abilities and convincing you that you are not ready. Fear can be paralyzing, stopping people from taking action even when they know deep down they are meant for more. But fear is not meant to lead your life. It is not meant to dictate your choices. or determine your future. The moment you allow fear to control you, you start shrinking yourself to fit within the limits it creates. Faith, on the other hand, is the opposite of fear. Faith is stepping forward even when you don't have all the answers. It is choosing to believe that what is ahead is greater than what is behind. Faith is not about having guarantees. It is about trusting in something bigger than yourself. It is about knowing that even if you don't see the full picture yet, every step you take is leading you closer to where you are meant to be. Fear tells you to wait until you feel ready. Faith tells you to move forward anyway. One of the biggest lies fear tells is that failure is the worst possible outcome. But failure is not final. It is a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey. Every person who has ever accomplished anything meaningful has faced failure along the way. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not that one group never fails, it is that they do not let failure stop them. They learn from it, they adjust, they keep going. Fear wants you to believe that one misstep is the end. Faith reminds you that setbacks are temporary and that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Many people pray for opportunities, but when those opportunities come, fear convinces them that they are not ready. They hesitate, they second-guess themselves, they talk themselves out of what they once believed was meant for them. Fear makes you overthink, keeps you stuck in cycles of doubt, and steals the very things you were created for. The only way to break free from that cycle is to choose faith over fear. To stop waiting for perfect conditions and to start trusting that you already have everything you need to take the next step. Fear thrives on uncertainty. It feeds on the unknown, making it seem bigger than it really is. But the truth is, uncertainty is part of every great journey. No one who has ever done something meaningful had all the answers in the beginning. They had to move forward without guarantees, trusting that things would fall into place along the way. If you wait until you have every detail figured out, you will be waiting forever. Faith means stepping forward even when the path is not completely clear. It means believing that what is ahead is worth the risk. Fear will always try to convince you to stay where it is safe. It will tell you that staying comfortable is better than stepping into the unknown. But growth does not happen in comfort. Purpose is not found in staying where it is easy. Every time you step out in faith, you expand your limits. You prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. And with each step, fear loses its power over you. The things that once seemed impossible start to become reality. Choosing faith over fear does not mean you will never feel afraid. It means you do not allow fear to make decisions for you. It means you recognize fear for what it is, a feeling, not a fact. Fear is temporary, but the regret of not stepping into your purpose lasts much longer. When you allow fear to dictate your actions, you miss out on opportunities that were meant for you. But when you choose faith, you open yourself up to possibilities greater than anything you could have imagined. You have a choice every single day to let fear hold you back or to move forward in faith. Fear will always give you reasons to stay the same. Faith will always challenge you to grow. Fear will remind you of your past mistakes. Faith will push you toward your future. Fear will try to convince you that you are not enough. Faith will remind you that you were chosen for this. And at the end of the day, the life you build will depend on which voice you choose to listen to. The people you surround yourself with have a direct impact on your mindset, your choices, and ultimately, your destiny. It is impossible to rise to your full potential if you are constantly surrounded by those who do not believe in you, do not challenge you, and do not push you to be better. The relationships in your life either fuel your growth or drain your energy. They either lift you up or hold you back. That is why it is so important to be intentional about who you allow into your space. Not everyone is meant to go where you are going. Some people are comfortable with where they are, and they will not understand your drive to grow, to push beyond limitations, to step into something greater. If you are surrounded by people who are content with mediocrity, it becomes easy to settle. If you are surrounded by those who constantly complain, doubt, and make excuses, that mindset begins to influence you, even if you do not realize it. The energy of those around you is contagious. If you are not careful, their fears, their insecurities, and their limiting beliefs will begin to shape your own thinking. One of the hardest lessons to learn is that growth often requires separation. There are people in your life right now who are meant for a past version of you, not the future version you are becoming. Some friendships, relationships, and connections were seasonal. They served a purpose, but they cannot come with you to the next level. Holding on to them out of comfort or obligation will only slow you down. It is not about looking down on anyone. It is about recognizing that your journey requires you to be surrounded by those who elevate you, not those who keep you stagnant. The right people in your life will see potential in you that you do not even see in yourself. They will challenge you to think bigger, to dream bolder, and to step into your purpose with confidence. They will not let you settle for less than you are capable of. They will remind you of your worth when you forget. They will push you forward when you feel like giving up. These are the people you need to seek out, the ones who align with your vision and challenge you to become the best version of yourself. Sometimes, the most difficult thing about changing your environment is the fear of being alone, the fear that if you walk away from certain relationships, you will have no one left. Being alone for a season is far better than being surrounded by the wrong people for a lifetime. It is in those seasons of solitude that you truly discover who you are, what you want, and what you are capable of. It is in those moments that you gain clarity, that you build strength, and that you develop the resilience necessary to step into the life you were meant to live. Not everyone will understand your journey. Some people will question your decisions. Some will try to make you feel guilty for outgrowing the spaces they are still comfortable in. Some will project their own fears onto you, telling you that you are being unrealistic, that you should settle, that you should be satisfied with where you are. But those who truly belong in your life will support your growth, not resist it. They will celebrate your wins, not be intimidated by them. They will inspire you, not discourage you. You must be willing to let go of relationships that no longer serve your growth. You must be willing to set boundaries with those who drain your energy. You must be willing to walk away from environments that keep you small, because the people in your life are either pushing you toward your destiny or pulling you away from it. And at some point, you have to decide what matters more, comfort or purpose. It is not just about removing the wrong people. It is also about intentionally seeking out the right ones. Surround yourself with those who have the mindset you aspire to have. Find mentors, leaders, and like-minded individuals who challenge you, who stretch your thinking, and who inspire you to level up. Your circle should reflect your future, not just your past. The right relationships will propel you forward in ways you never expected. Skull and Creole, life advice. Remember to dream big. They will open doors, provide wisdom, and support you in ways that make the journey not only possible, but also fulfilling. Your destiny is too important to allow the wrong influences to shape it. Who you surround yourself with is one of the most important decisions you will ever make. Choose wisely, because the people in your life are either feeding your faith or fueling your fears. They are either pushing you toward your purpose or pulling you away from it. That's big number one. And the direction of your life will always follow the company you keep. There will always be obstacles on the path to fulfilling your purpose. Challenges will arise, setbacks will happen, and moments of doubt will come. It is inevitable. But the difference between those who step into their calling and those who don't is not the absence of struggle. It is the ability to push through in spite of it. Many people assume that if something is meant for them, it will come easily. The doors will open without resistance, and that everything will align without effort. But that is not how purpose works. Anything meaningful requires perseverance. Anything great demands resilience. Too often, people give up at the first sign of difficulty. They assume that a challenge is a sign to stop, that resistance means they are on the wrong path. But more often than not, resistance is proof that you are on the right path. Anything worth having will be tested. The process is designed to strengthen you, to refine you, to prepare you for what is ahead. If you are easily discouraged, if you allow setbacks to define you, you will never reach the level you are meant to operate at. The struggle is not there to stop you, it is there to shape you. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. It is a chance to develop the skills, the mindset, and the strength you will need for the next level. Without the struggle, you would not be equipped for the weight of your calling. Without adversity, you would not build the endurance necessary to sustain success. Growth happens in discomfort. Strength is developed in resistance. The very things you are tempted to run from are often the things that will prepare you for your greatest breakthroughs. It is easy to be motivated when everything is going well, when doors are opening, and when progress is visible. But true commitment is tested in moments of uncertainty. Will you keep going when you don't see immediate results? Will you stay focused when the path ahead feels unclear? Will you trust the process when it seems like nothing is working? These are the moments that separate those who simply dream from those who actually achieve. The ones who succeed are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who refuse to quit. Many people pray for success, for impact, for opportunities, but they do not pray for the endurance to handle what comes with it. They want the rewards without the work, the breakthrough without the battle, but every victory requires persistence. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of resilience. The ones who make it are the ones who keep going even when they feel like giving up. They understand that quitting is not an option. They know that setbacks are temporary, but regret lasts forever. There will be moments when it feels like nothing is happening, like your efforts are going unnoticed, like you are putting in the work but seeing no results. These moments are where most people give up. They assume that because they don't see progress, progress is not being made. But growth does not always happen visibly. Seeds take time to sprout. Foundations take time to build. Just because you don't see the results yet does not mean your work is in vain. The process is working, even when you can't see it. The key is to keep showing up, to keep putting in the effort, even when it feels like nothing is changing, to stay consistent, even when motivation fades, because eventually the work will pay off. The results will come. The breakthrough will happen, but it will only come to those who did not give up. Success does not go to the most talented, the most intelligent, or the most connected. It goes to those who refuse to quit, to those who keep pushing when everyone else stops, to those who understand that perseverance is the price of greatness. You cannot allow temporary obstacles to make you abandon a permanent calling. What you are meant to do is too important to be derailed by temporary frustration. Every challenge you face is building something inside of you. Every setback is teaching you something you will need in the future. Every struggle is shaping you into the person you need to become. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is pointless. It is all part of the process. Most people will never experience the fullness of their purpose because they stop too soon. They let fear, doubt, and obstacles convince them that they are not capable. But those who are truly called, those who truly understand the weight of their purpose, keep going. They understand that setbacks are just setups for comebacks. They know that if they keep pushing, keep trusting, and keep believing, everything will fall into place, because the only way to fail is to stop trying.